Why we can't see underwater but fish can? Let's get into it. 'Cause I don't fucking know.
Chuck, let's talk about fish eyes.
Okay. I hear they're a delicacy in some parts.
Actually, Charles Liu,
Yeah.
okay, I've had many a Chinese New Year dinner with him.
Yes.
And red is an important luck
Yeah, big-
color
big-
in
big
China.
color for luck.
And red snapper is always served.
Okay.
And he, in front of all the kids, and ever since my kids grew up, there's the ritual of him sticking his finger in the eye socket, pulling out the eye, and eating it.
Interesting.
This is our Charles Liu.
You know,
You guys knew something was wrong with that
I was
child.
going to say you have really changed the way I think about Charles Liu. Charles Liu, the Hannibal Lecter of astrophysics.
Our geek in chief is an eyeball eater.
That's wow.
Okay, so let me remind you just how sight works, or how the optics of sight works.
Okay.
So light comes through the air, and air has a certain density to it.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
Okay.
And it goes through the pupil of your eye,
All
and on
right.
the other side of the pupil is the lens. It goes through the lens,
Mm-hmm.
and the lens bends the light.
Of course.
Okay, and then brings it to focus to an image on the back of your eyeball
Right.
on the retina, and then it's an upside down image. Yeah, so your brain inverts it and does what it needs to do.
Cameras used to do that.
The single lens reflex cameras, why you're not looking directly through, it comes up and across. In that bend, it makes the image right side up. Same with binoculars.
Right.
You ever see binoculars where it's narrow up front and then it goes wider there? That bend rectifies the image. You think, it's just the design? No, it is so that you don't see everything upside down the way the lens does. So the light comes through and it focuses. Your lens is focusing the light that came through the air. And anytime light changes from one medium to another, it bends, like in water.
Yeah.
Like you see, the famous one is with a straw.
You gotta throw one of them in there.
But don't like waiting around with a
rod reel.
and a wire. You might do it with a bow and arrow.
Right.
Okay, these bow fishing. So you just see and then you shoot.
Spear fishermen do the same thing.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Exactly. So they know whether or not they've studied the optics of it. They know that if you aim where you see the fish, you'll miss the fish.
You're not going to get it.
Right.
Right.
Because the light bent on its way out.
Right.
So they have to aim below where they see the fish, because that's where the fish actually is.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So here's the thing. What they never do hardly ever do accurately in movies is they'll show a point of view of someone underwater and everything is in perfect focus. Does that ever happen to you?
No.
No, not ever.
No.
Everything is blurry.
Super blurry.
Blurry as hell.
Blurry.
Right.
Because the light is no longer coming from air, it's coming from water.
Interesting. That's right.
And the difference in density, because density is what does this, between the water and your eyeball is not as high as the difference in density between the air and your eyeball.
Okay.
And the bigger the difference in density, the more the light is going to bend.
Right.
So we're getting some free bend out of the light because it's coming out of the air into our eyes.
Right.
Getting some free bend. You
Some
go
free bend.
underwater, the light is not bending.
Some
It
free
does not
bend.
focus on your retina.
Look at that.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So,
Oh, you're automatically nearsighted when you go
is that right?
underwater.
Was it in
If
your
it falls
five?
short, then you're nearsighted. If
Okay,
it
no,
falls
this
beyond,
one, it goes beyond.
If it goes
because doesn't
beyond, then you're
focus. sometimes.
farsighted.
Farsighted.
Right.
You are farsighted underwater.
Okay.
Like for everything, even stuff that's far. Generally, you can't see that far underwater, so it's a moot point. So, Chuck, if you want to see underwater, either you put on goggles
Right.
so that the light comes through the goggle, and now it comes through air
Right.
before it hits your eye.
Right.
So that's why goggles makes everything clear if you've ever been underwater.
Oh, yeah.
That's
God,
why goggles work.
I only use goggles
That-
for
that-
that reason.
For that reason. Okay, otherwise, you can't see anything. All right. Or give yourself a really fat eyeball lens, chunky fat, to compensate for the fact that the light is coming from water into your eye because it's not bending so much. So a fatter lens will bend it better.
Can't just open your eyes real wide.
It doesn't work.
underwater.
Exactly. So give yourself really fat
lenses.
fat lens eyeballs, then you can focus. Guess who has really fat lens eyeballs?
Don't say
Fish.
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 Fishy.
Fish. have really fat lensed eyeballs.
So they're not seeing what we see.
No, they know what's going on down there.
Oh man, they are seeing in clarity.
They don't need goggles.
Look at that.
They don't need goggles because they got big old fish eyeballs. And in photography, there's a lens that is a very low millimeter lens, very wide field of view. It's called a fisheye lens because it's big and fat.
Right.
It looks like a big old bug guy fish eyeball.
Anybody who knows anything about 90s videos knows about fisheye lenses.
What?
Because all the 90s videos, they use fisheye lenses.
Damn.
You know? Yeah, for some reason, it became a super popular thing. You know?
Damn.
Everybody was up in the...
I ain't never really peeped that.
Oh, to get up in the lens.
Yeah, they get up in the lens and it would distort you. And everybody thought that was so cool. Yeah.
So fish eyeballs, that's why fisheye is a thing to reference. Give me the fattest lens to make up for the fact that when you're crossing those medium, it needs help.
Don't have that fat lens around Charles Liu.
He might eat the lens.
He will eat your eyeball.
You say, come here, you got something in your eye. You got your eye and because the way he did it too, he takes his finger, goes in the socket and like scoops it out.
Yeah.
We all have kids at the table. All the kids just I was feeling that way too.
You're lucky if you get me to eat just the fish itself, let alone fish eye. That's, you know.
So by the way, this bending of the light as it goes from one medium to the next, it also happens.
Oh, two of these motherfuckers.
To Earth's atmosphere.
Right.
Okay, the light bends. So sunlight comes through the vacuum of space, hits Earth's atmosphere and bends. And that's why when you see the sun set, it actually set 5 minutes ago. And when you see the sun rise, it actually hasn't risen yet and it's not going to rise for another 5 minutes.
So you're seeing the light as it was bent by the atmosphere.
Exactly.
To show you what you're not actually seeing.
Correct. And it bent over the horizon to then hand you the sun before it actually had gotten there. And on the equinoxes, March 21st, September 21st, with people, I was nerdy enough to say, well, if it's equal day and night, let me look at the sunrise and sunset times and see if it splits the day evenly. I did this when I was in middle school, and it didn't split evenly. And I was pissed off. I said, then why are you calling it equinox? Because it means equinight. I would later learn, as I learned more astronomy and more of the night sky, that sunrise and sunset, it's coming through the atmosphere. The 12 hours of day and night is if there was no atmosphere and then the sun would exactly be on the horizon.
Right.
But they're sneaking in a few extra minutes because of this on each side. So this is, again, more of just light bending depending on what the medium is that it goes through. And the densest transparent substance known is what?
The densest transparent substance. Oh, I don't know if I know the densest.
Take a wild guess.
I'll say glass. No.
You can do better than glass.
Diamond.
Transparent. And
Did you give your wife a glass ring for when you...
oh, that's right. Let's keep that between us. It's all crazy. Letting the secrets out now. Yeah. The densest transparent, so the diamond.
The diamond. So it's dense. Light going into the diamond bends the most. It bends so much that you hit a critical angle where it gets internally reflected and it stays inside the diamond and comes out in some other direction. So that's why diamonds have this glistening thing, because the light can come from over here and end up going in the direction of your eyes, but it looks like you don't know where it's coming from.
Right.
That's why diamonds
sparkle the way they do.
They sparkle the way they do because of the
Diamonds
high
are forever.
angle bend that's inside of it. So it's optics. It's just optics. Fun optics.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah. All right. We got to get out of here. Thanks for being
Diamonds
here.
are forever.
I love
Otherwise,
it.
I'll be talking in the vacuum of space.
Listen, people are out there. It's weird because we're talking to each other.
It's true. You're eavesdropping on our conversation.
Exactly.
But I hope you don't mind because I feel like I'm Chuck's tutor, you know. And
Oh, no, that's the truth. Listen, I'm all about that.
We're done here. Neil deGrasse Tyson for Star Talk. As always, keep looking up.
That was a good one. I liked it. For more of those, man, like and subscribe. Reason why we can't see underwater, because we ain't fish. Point well taken. Yeah, gang, get at me on the next one. We out of here.